and welcome to Zelda Speedruns. Today we're pleased to present you with another A Link to the Past All Dungeons Restricted Major Glitches tournament match. It's almost the end of the group stages, bracket stages to be starting very shortly. And I am joined today by M. Kostler, and this is Nut Yoho. And how you doing today, gentlemen?
I'm doing very good.
I'm doing great.
Okay, and switching scenes, and we're going to set them off. So, thank you very much, and I'll talk to you later.
Cool deal. Like Nori said, this is All Dungeons Restricted Major Glitches of Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. We've got two excellent runners of this game facing off head-to-head against each other. Both runners within 20 seconds of each other's PBs, so we should have a very tight race between Lanxion and Fricker22. You ready to watch this exciting race here, Yoho?
Oh yeah, I'm super stoked to see this. I'm super stoked. The battle mano-a-mano. They're both 2-0 in which group is it? Group. Ooh.
I don't have it up. So
it's a group. Yeah, one of
they're
those.
Both 2-0 in their group. And
Group K. It's Group K. All right.
There we go. Thank you so much.
Both 2-0. Big. One person gets to leave here with 3-0. The pride of achievement, knowing that they were undefeated in their groups going to brackets. The other one has to have a slight stain on their record.
Yeah. Very likely both of these runners will be making it to the bracket stage, and this is mostly for seeding, but we should see both of these runners go all out, knowing that either runner is knowing that they're likely secured, and both runners are very good, so might see some very close attempts at PBs between both Fricker and Lanxion.
Oh yeah, both gonna try and get their average time down to improve their seed for the brackets. That's how seeding is going to be done in this tournament. But yeah, we're off. We're in escape again. It's it's escape. It's in this category. It's very much the same as the no major glitches category.
Try as we might, no matter. Well, wherever we're not allowing some of the most broken glitches, really you're going to see this escape sequence in almost every category that's trying to do the majority of the game.
I mean, there's one glitch that we could do. I guess we could go do Eastern first and then do escape, but that turns out to be slower. So
right,
we don't.
Yeah, you have Zelda yelling at you every however long, minute 30. I don't know the exact amount of time, and that in and of itself, I believe, ruins the potential time save that you'd have going to Eastern first and getting the bow.
There's the hilarious soft lock potential, right? If she yells at you while you're getting the pendant, that's what it is?
I believe it's a hard lock. You can't even save and quit out of there. So yeah.
So escape.
So yeah, we got to deal with it. Both of our runners very likely going to be heading to this first sort of mini boss, the ball and chain guard. There's a couple different strats. They all basically are within shouting distance of one another. Probably going to see both of our runners, who are longtime veterans of the game, doing about 8/ strats on this ball and chain guard. Finishes both of them with pretty good.
Pretty close. Oh, Fricker hitting the map, letting us know where we are.
Yeah, figuring out where we are in the dungeon, just giving us a little peek.
Big map of good luck, so he's ready to go. This is already PB pace for Fricker because he's mapped in escape.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, from here we're mainly doing this escape sequence because there's the rain state that's at the very beginning of the game. You might have seen when we were briefly outside. The rain was coming in, and that rain state messes with a couple of triggers, a couple of things that we need to have happen, and messes with a little bit of the the way the Death Mountain works if we don't get rid of it. So we might as well do all this stuff as soon as possible.
Oh yeah, definitely. So we gotta just do escape. You just gotta suck it up and do escape. That's mostly, if you speedrun this game, you've accepted it in your life that you're gonna have to do escape. You gotta rescue the princess. I mean, it's just part of the story. You gotta live with it. So
yeah, you're gonna see some minor movement optimizations. I won't go exactly into what all they're doing, but as far as glitches go, we aren't really going to see any glitches in this category until we get to until optionally we get to the first dungeon, but then we're pretty much required once we get past the first real dungeon. In the meantime, just a little bit of walking through the back sewers to get to the sanctuary.
Yeah, so big thing about here is all the enemies their movements are random, so they can just ruin your life just because you exist, because you've decided to play this game today.
Both runners having pretty good snake rooms. Lanx did have to slash away one.
Yeah, he took a hit to the face.
Yeah,
Fricker is slashing away. So yeah, they're both getting a little beat up in the sewers, but no big deal.
Gonna see it coming up onto the key rat room, probably the biggest source of random time save and time loss. Lanx getting a Sacramento key rat, while the Fricker ends up with, I don't know, a San Diego key rat.
Yeah, if you don't know, we refer to where that key rat is over on the left side of the screen geographically in the U.S. So the worst one you can get is a Seattle key rat. And then we just kind of move south down the west coast from there. So, yeah, one was okay, one was not okay. I guess they're both fine though. We're pretty synchronized here on the escape. One of the nice things we get to do here after we have this chat with the priest and Zelda. I don't know what they're saying. I can't read Japanese, so we get to save and quit right after this to just go to Link's house, and that saves us about 20 seconds doing that, so it's pretty nice.
We're allowed to have save and quit in this in pretty much all of our major glitch categories. A lot of the glitches that we end up doing, you can get yourself into soft lock positions, and if we didn't allow people to save and quit, then they'd just be stuck and just be run over. If you're going for PB pace, especially at these runners' caliber, getting soft lock is probably a dead PB. But at least for letting our runners continue on and do different things, having save and quit there is in this category is a godsend. And it looks like both of our runners opting to skip the optional major glitch that you could do, something called a citrus clip.
Yeah, citrus clip is one of those things where it saves about 6 seconds, but it can also lose infinite time. It can kill the run. So I know Fricker goes for it sometimes, but Lanx doesn't ever go for it, I don't think. So
yeah, Lanx is
just opting to play it safe. I guess he might know that Lanx doesn't go for it, so he's keeping it even.
Yeah. Lanx definitely of the mindset of doesn't feel like he has the citrus clip down well enough for it to save him time, and if it's not going to save you time, then don't even bother with it.
Yeah. All right, so that means that our Eastern is just going to be fairly glitchless, and if you just saw that room, that Stalfos room, you're like, wait, that doesn't look totally glitchless, but that's not a major glitch, that's a minor glitch. We just kill the Stalfos before they can spawn. All of them don't spawn, and we can get the door open as quickly as possible. We just do very specific movement there to hold the camera in a certain spot so they don't spawn.
Well, they all spawn cardinally from you. So one spawns north, east, south, and west. And so the north one will spawn off screen. The south one will spawn on top of the pot and therefore not spawn. And so that's why only the east and west ones spawn. And once we trigger that little spot, we're able to actually kill them before they actually appear. In the meantime, we're about to see Lanxion head to the second you wouldn't even really call this a glitch. This is really just a damage boost. We're getting some iframes off of the Popo in order to lift the rock that's surrounded, or pot that's surrounded by those anti-fairies, so we can hit the switch and get the big key for this dungeon without having to clear out all the enemies in that room.
Yeah, so now we're on to the big chest in here. It's got the bow. The bow is important for this dungeon and the next dungeon where you need it.
Ooh, nice chest turn coming out from Lynx. Can we get some Lynx W's in chat?
Certainly. Chest turn?
Yep. We, you might, if you've ever seen, Lynx having a little bit of issues with these Igors. Luckily,
those Igors do 1 heart of damage, so we're gonna.
He's got to pay. He's at half a heart, so he's got to pay attention to all the enemies in there. But luckily, he stays calm and survives the room. There is a heart right there.
Yeah. So there's also a heart in that room to the right there, while he's waiting for him to recharge or whatever, finish their cycle of closing their eyes and taking a nap.
Right. Speaking of hearts, you might have noticed that both of our runners decided not to pick up the Sanctuary heart when they were in the Sanctuary, obviously. Ooh, I should.
He's doing Yuzu.
Yeah, Fricker's doing the Yuzu, but ends up screwing it up just a little bit.
A little bit of trouble. Has a red one. Oh, that's not good though. Having the red Armos there is not good, because in the next dungeon, well, they're both kind of screwed on arrows, but in the next dungeon, your arrow count matters a lot. We need 7, I think, at a minimum to be able to be good, to not have to do backup strats.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're probably going to see both of our runners either pick up the arrows on the big key drop down or in the Mimic's room themselves. But back to the Sank Heart, you're going to see both of our runners actually pick up the Sank Heart after they save and quit after picking up these boots from Sahasrara. The Sank Heart has a property of being the only heart pickup that you get that actually fully heals you. And whenever we save and quit, we don't actually get all of our health back. And so the idea is we pick up the Sank Heart then, because Death Mountain just sort of randomly can kill you, deal a lot of damage. It's a lot safer now that we have newer clips that avoid a lot of the dead rocks and boulders that could deal some damage to you, but it's still.
Oh my god, he's chest turning everywhere.
Chest turn god, Lanx W's. Spam those boys in chat.
Yeah. All right, so for the next thing,
my god.
He's doing it everywhere. He's a madman. Oh my.
Yeah, so we're heading to Death Mountain. We don't actually have the power gloves yet to get up on top of Death Mountain, but we can just do the start of our real major glitchy sections. Do a little spin clip into that corner, jump off some ledges with a broken camera. That'll put us to the entrance to Death Mountain on the other side of the big rock that we normally have to use those power gloves to pick up and get behind. So start of our major glitches, and we're going to see many, many more coming up very soon.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons we want to do Eastern as quickly as possible is those boots they don't just let us go fast, they don't just let us run. They also let us ignore walls as if they didn't exist. So it's just a very nice thing to have. You're about to see them do this again. One of the big tools is called spin speed that we can use for this. Basically, we charge a spin, release it, and on the next frame we hit the dash button. That basically that messes up Link's animation state, and it kind of locks him in a state where the game just lets him go through some walls. You can see here, Fricker is doing what's called the Kiki Yeet, I guess, and Link is doing the same thing. So now we're going into pod. Now you might be wondering, how are we going into pod? We're just going into a cave. Well, the entire underworld is on a grid. Like, it's on one grid. So if we can just, get ourselves through walls, and luckily we picked up some bombs to bomb us through those walls in Sahasrara's house, we can just bomb ourselves into pod, which is luckily right next to that room on the map. But we're in a weird pod. Yeah. We're in a pod that we think it's a cave. The game thinks it's a cave. So one of the benefits of that is you have every key that you could ever ask for when you're in there. So one of the things we do, we just open up a door and reset the dungeon. So we save a little bit of time on opening that door, not having to get a key to open that door.
Mm-hmm. It allows us to skip the. There's a couple of extra keys that we get in here because we do a trick called a hammer jump. But it mostly allows us to get a failed chest turn there.
Yep.
Mostly allows us to get or skip the key in the dark maze after you would pick up the hammer that you would normally get in if you were doing the NMG run.
Oh yeah, for sure. So yeah, from here, our big goal in pod is we want to be able to get the hammer early to be able to. Well, really, the big thing is to be able to kill Moldorm. Moldorm gets hurt better by the hammer. I guess that's a terrible way to put that, but yeah.
Well, kill Moldorm and make the Helma fight any kind of reasonable. You can technically kill Helma without the hammer, but it would be an absolute nightmare of a fight if you didn't have the hammer.
Yeah, we haven't seen any bomb strats or anything this tournament. No one's really going meme.
Bomb strats is a full meme. And if you see anybody do that, I would question what they're doing.
Yeah.
But here we see hammer jump coming from Fricker's side. Double pixel perfect. We set ourselves up to plant a bomb and then set ourselves up in a particular position near the bomb. Lanx making sure, giving a couple extra mini buffers just to make sure that he's on the right spot.
Oh, no chest turn though. He went for it. You can see that slide, but just a chest slide. So yeah, now we've got the hammer. We've got our big keys. We're ready to go to the back. Both of these guys, they both took the drop down arrows, I guess. So lost a little bit of time there.
Not going to see any backup strats.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a backup strat, but
backup mimic strats.
Yeah, the backup mimic strats are, I don't know. They you basically pin a mimic up on top, and then you're able to pick up the arrows before you kill him. Oh, Fricker,
speaking of arrows, Fricker gets a nice arrow drop.
And Lynx doesn't, so low on arrows. One of the things I like, I guess if you're actually good, you don't need it, but having backup arrows for Helma is pretty nice because you're going back here with 5 hearts. You got 3 hits and you're dead back here. And also there's a turtle party about to happen, maybe. So if you get in a bad situation, being able to bow down Helma is pretty good.
Right. Ooh.
Oh man, they both missed the boomerang.
Seeing Fricker go through that turtle party room, normally you'd have the master sword in that room and it'd make things much easier, but now we have to just use our hammer shots. Link's getting a little unlucky with the movement of that bottom right turtle.
It looked like he just went low. He just hit that hammer went straight so low. Yeah. But yeah, Fricker's in the Helma. This is a big run killer. Helma can kill you, wants to kill you, and will kill you if you let him.
Yep. So every single runner in this tournament, when running this game, will have died at some point to this boss. Practicing, whatever. It's just something that you have to practice and try to play it as safe while being as fast as possible. Fricker with a very good fight. Lanx also with a good fight. Neither of them having really horrible RNG for... I mean,
they didn't get touched at all from him, so it was pretty nice.
Yeah, both runners doing excellent. It takes 4 hits with our hammer to finish off the second phase of Helma. And then like Yoho said, you can sometimes go with the backups with the arrows. Takes 8 hits to that gem in the center with arrows. So if either of our runners would have gotten into a sticky situation, they could have switched to the arrows. Lanx, not as much because of his low arrow count, but Fricker...
They could have switched to a arrow, I guess, and then a spin. I don't know, man. That's probably not worth it at that point. Fighter sword spins, I guess they do the same as one master sword slash. Like we gotta really, I don't know. The Helma fight's hard because our equipment is really bad, so we're having to do basically really funky stuff to be able to just hit him with the hammer, and then also he hurts us real bad.
Mm-hmm.
So
both runners still within shouting distance of one another. After we get through Pod, we're going to head right on back to Death Mountain. You're going to see us coming back to Death Mountain quite often, mostly because this Dark World portal that's near the top of Death Mountain is for a very long time our only way to get into the Dark World. So we use that to make our way around. In the meantime, the actual Tower of Hera dungeon interior is not much different, aside from what Yoho mentioned earlier, the ability to use the hammer for the Moldorm fight. We see Lanx with a very nice boom dash to set him up.
Fricker getting the boom dash.
Yeah, sorry, you're
nice.
right.
Lanx is doing classic strats. Neither opt to go for pot spin speed, which is a great strategy that loses no time, but also gains no time, but looks great. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, so now we're just we're going through Hera pretty normally. Again, like I said before, we got the hammer. We can hang out. We can kill Moldorm a lot easier with the hammer. He only takes 3 hits instead of 6 hits with the fighter sword, and we get to skip the enrage phase of Moldorm with the hammer. So we get less of a chance to get bopped off, but there's still a chance that one of these players gets bopped off by Moldorm.
Yeah, you have less of a chance because of that enrage phase. But one of the things that you lose in this category, well, you don't have to lose it, but you probably are going to see our runners lose it, is in the normal fight, you're usually fighting Moldorm with your sword out, and you can have that sword out, and that sort of acts as a way to, based on the movement code works, you're a little more sticky to the actual platform and you can't fall off quite as easily. But here you're probably going to see our runners not hold the sword out at all, just so they can make sure that they're getting in their hammer hits. So if you do happen to get hit by Moldorm,
Fricker taking all the way both through the chest turn.
Both with the chest turn.
Oh, this is insanity. But yeah, one of the things that you get with the when you're doing just the fighter sword fight, you also get to dash straight through him. With the hammer. You're kind of doing a bullfighting kind of thing. Like if he faces you, you're trying to sidestep him and hit him with the hammer. So it's a little more. See, like Link's there, he is sidestepping, but he's getting beat up. Oh my god.
Fricker got
he's down to 100.
Two smacks in the face. Don't worry, I missed. Oh, and see, just what I talked about. Any sort of hit from Moldorm, if you don't have that sword out, you're going to get launched way further and not get stuck on the platform. So Link's having to come in and do a refight down to 1 heart. Hopefully he does not take any more damage. Otherwise, back to the beginning of the dungeon.
It looks okay. He played it slow. He definitely didn't get aggressive in there with the hammer. So yeah, he made sure he didn't get hurt. So yeah, he's making it through, but yeah, Moldorm can be a bully in any category that you fight him in. So poor Lynx.
Meantime, we're seeing Fricker. We have to get off of Death Mountain and onto the rest of the Dark World. Fricker doing what he can to do that through a DMD, Death Mountain Descent. Like I said, that portal is the only way that we can get into the Dark World for a pretty long time. Until we get our Titansmiths in this next dungeon. So only way to get into Thieves Town is to clip off of Death Mountain, like both Fricker and Lynx is doing right now.
Yeah, so yeah, our next dungeon here is Thieves Town. Fricker's in it. The real big thing in Thieves Town is you still only have the fighter sword. And it's kind of depressing to have the fighter sword in here because a lot of things would die from the master sword, but don't die to the fighter sword. They just get angry to the fighter sword. The big place you'll see this is in the jail cell before you get blind, before you get the prisoner or whatever to follow you, and it'll sometimes those blue Zazaks will just walk in your face, and you either gotta hope the hammer hits them because the hammer has a weird hitbox. and it sometimes it'll look like it should hit, and it will just not. Or yeah, you just gotta juke. You gotta juke some zigzags here. But yeah, Fricker coming up to the Hellway, pixel perfect dash, good RNG, and he'll make it through, and he does it easy. Yeah,
very clean. It was either lagless or near lagless, from what I could see.
Yeah, very nice. So yeah, just traversing through Thieves Town, we're going to get the second level gloves upgrade here. We're skipping the first level gloves upgrade, being able to do DMA. Let us do that. We're never going to touch C or get near the gloves, because once we get these second level gloves, they're just going to stick with us. If we got the first level gloves, they'd overwrite the second level gloves. That'd be
weird and bad.
Yeah. But yeah, really, we want what we want now. We're equipping ourselves a little bit with weaponry here. We need those gold gloves to be able to get to the Frogsmith. And he'll give us our tempered sword. Tempered sword, like that exchange, is luckily enough for us. Doesn't actually check which sword you have. Doesn't check that you have the master sword. Fricker's going. Fricker. Yeah, Fricker. That guy walked up and.
Yeah, and then you saw right there what Yoho was talking about with the weird hitbox from the hammer. It looked like it should have been something that he could have hit, but just 2 whiffs.
Yeah.
So here's those jail cells. Some nice dashes through the jail cells. Makes things a little bit safer than just walking through. Lanx also with some trouble deciding to go ahead and, since he had to walk all the way down, pick up those arrows in the bottom right corner.
Yeah, those will help him out later. I think he's super low on arrows, or he was, so probably good they got him. Now they're actually even on arrows. I think they should be okay.
And so yeah, we see the difference between what Lanx did, or what Fricker did, and what Lanx did. Lanx just walking it through had to end up hammering the Zazak. So Fricker had a little bit better RNG and the safety of the dash versus having to kill things in front of you. Yeah, meantime, we got blind.
Yeah, Fricker's on the blind fight. The blind fight. The way Blind's movement works is he'll do the same thing as long as you damage him on the same frames. So we try our best to damage him on the first frame that he's vulnerable, so that he behaves in the same way.
Yeah, in a deterministic way.
Yeah. So Fricker had a good scripted blind fight there. Nothing got wily or crazy. It can happen sometimes with the fighter sword, because the fighter sword actually, it's like a pixel shorter or something. I don't know.
I don't know the exact length, but it is a little bit shorter.
Yeah, so a little unfortunate, but it's the lucky thing is that blind takes the same amount of damage no matter what weapon you're hitting him with. And yeah, they're both through pretty easily.
So far, no disasters from either of our runners. I guess you could say the unfortunate Moldarm fall from Lanx, but in the scale of disasters that can happen in this category, that is very, very minor.
Yeah, certainly. So now we're going to go do some shopping. Well, we're going to go do some shopping, and we're also going to get ready to do some shopping. So we need to get money to be able to buy our flippers from King Zora. So there's, luckily, in the Village of Outcasts, there's 2 houses with 300 rupees in it. That's that first 300 rupees that we just got there. Oh wait, Fricker's going for Frog Door here.
Going for Frog Door.
Yeah, there's a hard lock possibility here. A lot of people have gotten it to happen to them in the tournament. We got to see what happens. Yeah, does Fricker get it?
This tournament has shown that this is the nice gesture. This tournament has shown that this is the scariest 20 frame save in the world, and
Fricker nails it. It's easy.
It's really like supposedly it's like a 1 frame.
Yeah, it's a 1 frame
hard
disaster.
Lock,
yeah.
And even then, there are ways to get around it by holding select. It would lose you a lot of time, but not nearly as much time as the hard lock would.
Yeah, I think if you added up all the time that's been lost by people hard locking in the tournament, versus the time that's been saved by people doing this.
As soon as one person failed, the amount of time saved was dwarfed by the amount of time lost.
Yeah.
So,
oh man.
Meantime, Link showed us the other way that you would do that without doing the frog door strat.
Yeah. So we're returning the smith to our place to get the tempered sword from him. Lynx grabs it. You can see it right there. Next up, Lynx is going to do, or Fricker is going to do the hardest trick in the game. The most important trick in the game is called Fence Dash. It's 2 buttons at the same time. It saves 300 million years.
It saves you 1 Fence Dash, and he got it.
Oh, he nailed it. Yes.
Nailed it.
Yep. All right.
The run continues.
Yeah, that's rough for Fricker just to rub it in Lynx's face like that. Just doing Fence Dash on him.
Yeah,
we'll see if Lynx gets it though. Lynx might come back,
fight back, keep this a real race.
Yeah, definitely.
Outside of the memery that is Fence Dash, most of Skullwoods, beyond getting the Book of Medora, is what you're going to see in NMG runs. We just traverse through here. First, go get the big key, head back, get the fire rod, and then head to the back of the dungeon. Gonna see our 3rd of bomb jumps. Nice chest turn there from Lanxion.
Oh, nice.
Fricker currently
following it up though.
Fricker currently in the 2nd worst room in the game. Worst room in this particular category. This mummy statue room. Those mummies can behave erratically. We have.
Hold on now.
Excuse
me. Swamp
Warp
is certainly the worst room. Quotes around it in this game. In this
category.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll see it soon. We'll see who gets bombed on and who bombs the bomber.
Well, Fricker, we just saw Fricker take 4 hearts of damage in there, and then Lanxion also having to deal with this nonsense.
Oh man, he's up in there.
Okay.
Oh, that mummy is messing with Lynx hard.
Are you sure you want to say that Swamp Warp is...
Neither of them died, and sometimes you just die from Swamp Warp, man. It just dies. It just kills you. He just says goodbye. It's time to go.
Set your watches for about 10 minutes from now. Maybe less than 10 minutes from now. 5 minutes from now. Yeah. And we'll see.
Yeah, so we're just traversing through Skullwoods, finishing up this dungeon. We got the fire rod. Fire rod's nice. We're going to use it in our next dungeon. Right after we do a little bit of shopping around afterwards, after this.
You're going to use it in this dungeon too.
You don't use it on the boss. I guess I'm thinking more bosses, but
sure.
Yeah, you got to be able to get to the back somehow. So there's no real good clip opportunities or anything that we have in here, so you gotta do this mostly vanilla. I guess depending on how you do a vanilla run, you're like 1 heart short maybe. But yeah, it's mostly just the same. And
Fricker just playing it extra safe, picking up some extra hearts along the way. He got a heart drop from the hard hat beetle, and then picked up the heart pot here. In the meantime, here comes the moth fight. Ended up being okay, an okay fight, 8 out of 10. But one of the issues with the moth fight is all these spikes surrounding the room. Usually they do class 4 gold sword damage to enemies whenever you knock them into it, but the developers didn't want you to have just such an easy fight of just knock the Mothula into the spikes a couple times and they die. So they basically made it so that these spikes essentially do 0 damage, which can happen to override. Ooh, Lynx down to 1 heart.
Oh, but
okay.
It's fine. Yeah, he made it through. All right, so yeah, still a very close race. There's still a lot of things that can mess with you. Like my worst room in this category could mess with you and even this up. But yeah, they're making it through. Fricker is now heading to Death Mountain again. We're going to see him go to Hera again. Hera's kind of a hub in this category. You end up going in there like a bajillion times.
Yeah, we do the same clip tons of different times. Sometimes we go into Hera because it fixes the camera. Sometimes we don't.
Yeah, but here we're fixing the camera. We're going to go get the Ether Medallion from the tablet right next to Hera.
Yep.
And we need to do that because we're getting ready to go into Mire. We're not going into Mire next, but we want to be able to have the stuff to go into Mire. And then from here, we're going to go get our flippers, and we're not saving and quitting to do that. So it's going to be a fun trip.
This ether medallion, we're skydiving off of Death Mountain. This ether medallion is actually the only reason that we needed the Book of Medora. We're actually going to get into Desert Palace from a back door using some clips. But there's nothing we can do to get around having to use the Book of Medora for the ether medallion.
Some would say that literacy is its own reward, Kosla. But yeah, so now you're seeing Fricker. He's about to hop off a mountain. He's going for it. He's doing the skydive straight into Zora. All right, we're just in there. Again, like the underworld, the overworld is one big continuous grid. Turns out Death Mountain's right above the Zora domain, so we ignore some walls and we just top on down.
Yeah, and you're going to see that do not adjust your television set. The screen is exactly how it's supposed to be rendered out because we we started from the Death Mountain tile set. That's the same tile set that's loaded in, and so when we make that screen transition into Zora's domain, it just has to use what's available. So it's just trying its best to film in what it can.
Yeah, it just doesn't realize that you've gone there. It doesn't realize that, I guess there's zones or whatever. I don't know. You do certain things, tiles get loaded. They didn't get loaded here, so everything looks brown.
Yep.
But yeah, all right. So Fricker side, we're going into this warp. I say it's the worst room in the game. Fricker's going to just nail it.
We'll see.
Make me look silly, but I have died here more than once. So
there's a bunch of different ways that our runners can do this particular section. It looks like Fricker is doing the bomb clip into the side here. It does a bomb clip to get up to the top and just jumps right on over.
Yeah, gets out of there as quickly as possible.
There you can also walk down to about halfway around that little ridge to get to another spin clip. Or you can just walk all the way around and get around that ridge the vanilla way.
Yeah, there's a lot of different strategies. You can spin, you can do anything. You can do a regular plain ham sandwich strategy of just walking all the way around.
It looks like both of our runners making Yoho eat his words, making that screen look completely free.
They're wasting a valuable resource to get out of there as fast as possible, so I think they're on board with that screen being rough.
In the meantime, both of our runners did a clip called Fluteless Mire. Normally, the only way into Mire is we have to have the flute, but obviously, since we're doing major glitches, we've got all sorts of different ways that we can get up on top of those ridges and into the area. And similar to what happened with with getting into Zora's domain, the game isn't quite ready for us to be in the Mire area, so all the rain that would normally be showing up just is all the graphics just aren't quite loaded in as the game really wants. So we had a little bit of a weird flash on the screen.
So, Fricker just did a weird spin.
Normally
you just go up and to the right after you spin, but you're a little scared of falling off. So Fricker went around with the spin speed. But yeah, we're in the desert. We get to do desert. We're going in the back door, I guess, so we can just grab the key. Like I said before, we don't need the mitts. We don't care about the mitts. We don't want the mitts. So we're just going to grab the key and get out of here so that we can go to the back and we can kill those worms. And since this is so later than normally we would do it, we have a lot more hearts, and we have that fire rod that I mentioned before. Fire rod kills Lambos in 2 hits. So instead of having to do like a bow Lambo, a fighter sword Lambo, whatever Lambo, bomb Lambo, some people have done that.
Very true.
We get to just
combo
fire rod.
Combo of Tippy Throat spin and fire rod shots, and as long as we don't get some really horrible RNG from these Lamolus, we can finish them off in the very first cycle.
Yeah, so Fricker nails it, grabs the medallion, and now since we came in here in the dark world and mirrored, we have our portal right there to get into Mire. we're going to head out in there. And Mire is a very fun dungeon. So we get double the prizes in Mire. And also we get to travel through. We get to go through our favorite hub dungeon of Hera in Mire. So
nice one cycle from Lanxion.
Yeah.
Cool thing about Mire is a lot of different rooms that we're going to be going through are in that underworld map, are close to different rooms in these other dungeons, and because Mire is supposed to be kind of like a little maze area, they've got a lot of extraneous keys that we don't actually need. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a key from inside Mire, and because whenever we're going to be traversing to these other dungeons, we haven't actually left Mire technically, at least how the game sees it. We haven't actually left Mire. We end up being able to use those keys specifically in Swamp Palace, so that we can sneak on through the back door of Swamp Palace and pick up the hook shot.
Yeah, Fricker had a little bit of trouble in Mire 2 there. He took
took a shot to the face.
Yeah. And if we weren't leaving Mire to go do other stuff, that would be trouble, because our health matters a lot in this dungeon. But luckily, we're going to grab some fairies on our journey through to grab the hook shot.
He does have to be a little careful. If he gets down to 1 heart, then things become a problem, because we're going to be doing 2 bomb clips in the... or we're going to be doing 1 bomb clip before we get to the fairy refill. Although if he does get down to 1 heart, then he'll end up having to do a manual sword clip to get into
that. Or I've been in that situation before, and I've sat there and farmed Wizrobes for a heart.
That's very true.
It feels bad because they take forever, and sometimes they just don't drop a heart. Of course, when you need it, they're not going to drop it. So, yeah.
You might have also saw Fricker. He was conscious of his health total, and he could have gone around the berry, the red berry there, and the jelly, and picked up that pot up top. But that pot actually has some magic refill, and we actually want to make sure that we don't get that magic refill until we've done this little torch puzzle, because we want to have full magic for the second time that we come through this dungeon.
Yeah, definitely. So we've gotten our big key. One of the big things is that really the game only cares about the big key of the dungeon that you entered in when you're opening chests, or small keys too. It only cares about the one you've entered in. So we've went ahead, we've gotten an extra key in Mire. You can see Fricker has 1 key. We've gotten our big key. That was important not just for being able to get the hook shot that we're coming up to, but also for we need to actually move the wall with the torches before we do this clip that you can see Fricker's doing. Right now, he's in Hera. You can't tell because it's still green, but now you can tell because it's Hera colors. So Mire happens to be in the underworld, in the big grid. Mire happens to be right next to that room in Hera, and Hera happens to be right next to this room in Swamp that Fricker's about to go to. You see him, he's setting up for another bomb clip.
Hera to Swamp, probably one of the hardest clips in this category. With bomb clips, it makes it significantly easier, but even then, there's a lot of different things that could happen with how you clip into that wall, or into that slope, I should say. There are different ways that you can save it if you don't get the perfect clip, but it's definitely something that if you're first learning this run, you might have some struggle with. But both runners, first try, make it look easy.
Big bonus. Fricker does not chest turn on the hook shot.
No chest turn on the hook shot. And
we're going to see if Lanx does it. If Lanx doesn't do it, we're going to kick him out immediately.
Both runners. Fricker already flirting with disqualification for not getting the chest turn there. We'll see if Lanx fails us here. Oh my goodness!
Oh man, what just happened? Run's over, guys.
Run is absolutely
shut it down.
over.
It's rough. That's rough. We gotta remember that and ask them about it in the interview. What happened? What did a cat attack them? I don't know, man.
Ooh,
did something happen? Yeah.
nice use of the Duck Mire 2-2. It's a relatively new strat for the second time through the second room in Mire. You throw a fire rod shot up to that first wizard orb that you kill, and you have basically a 50-50 chance of getting a heart refill there. And if you get that heart refill, you regain your beams in that room, and so you can do the faster version of Mire 2 versus the slower version.
Yeah, so we've done all the weird stuff we're going to do in this dungeon. Have we? Wait, no, we haven't. Fricker's picking up
one more.
He's tossing it into the void. He's doing AD Spooky.
Mm-hmm.
We call it AD Spooky because there's a regular Spooky, and then there's this Spooky Light that we're doing. Fricker throws that block into the void. Basically, you can tell that Zelda's kind of a pseudo 3D game. It has altitude for things. You can throw them. They go up. They go down.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things with that block is when we throw it into the void, it gets its altitude set to the maximum value. We're going to use that because there's an error in the fire rod coding where the explosion of the fire rod uses that altitude variable, and it just teleports up through the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We have to dash upward to be able to basically get the camera to move up fast enough to get that switch to spawn in.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fire rod has its explosion teleported right on top of the of that switch that just got spawned in. And we don't have to bomb the wall. We save a little bit of time. And it's just weird, man.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're on to Vitreous. Vitreous, the eyeballs do a lot of damage, but the way we mitigate that is by standing in the goo, which does a little damage.
Yep.
Doing
and
spins,
that little damage
eyeballs.
gives us iframes so that we can much more easily navigate inside and really dig into the boss without taking significant chunks. Okay. Lanxion having to go with a one cycle, but totally fine for both of our runners.
Yeah. So, Mire, very close catch. It's still pretty close here. Could be anyone's run.
Yeah, we will see in a moment exactly how far apart our runners are.
Yeah, certainly. All right, so after we master this text, we're in Mire. We're in the dark world. We don't want to be in this basic boxed-in area of Mire. Normally, you would I guess you would mirror and flute away if you were just playing the vanilla game without save and quit.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to do a clip. It's called Mire Exit. We're going to see there's a few different types that we can do. Fricker is doing fast Mire Exit. This is a dangerous one. You got to worry about that pink shot. You can see he had to move there. So he's doing the clip, getting out. Yeah. Doesn't get hurt or anything. Mm-hmm. And one of the big things here, these two Ropas are dangerous. They are rough, man. Sometimes you just get lottoed. That's what we call it whenever you just get hit by those. And Fricker makes it through okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lanx is also going for the fast one. He has to dodge the pink
also
shot
has
too.
To dodge.
Yeah. And it looks like, he's through okay. We're going to see if he gets lottoed too. Oh, nope. Yeah, they both make it through easy. Yep. So, now we're on the Swamp. Swamp, one of the nice things about Swamp is since we've already been in here, we've already been pushing switches, ignoring keys, flooding things out. We can just swim through the first room that we've already flooded, and Swamp is made so simple. The big key was only needed in Swamp for the big chest. We borrowed Mire's big key to do that, so we don't need the big key at all. We don't have to go over to that left side. Swamp is actually a very simple dungeon. Mm-hmm. Luckily, a new glitch has been found. Yep. Make it more complicated. Get it rough. It's
not much more complicated.
Yeah. It's not much more complicated, but it's one of those things where sometimes you go for it and things just happen.
Sure.
But we're gonna see. I guess we're gonna see Fricker do it here. It's called the diver down clip. We're gonna see in the next room if he goes left, he's not doing it. If he goes right, he's definitely doing it. So, he's going right.
So diver down. Clips through this particular small little rail here. How water works in this game is all of the water isn't actually going to trigger you to get into a swim state. There's these like deep water tiles, I guess you could call them, that are surrounding the little area around where that set of stairs was. And if we can just clip through the rail just a little bit past them, then we can just land in the water basically, but not actually be out of the water. See, Lynx having a little bit of trouble getting his setup into that corner. But yeah, it's just one single frame down, get back up into the corner, use the Samaria block. It's not actually required, but it's just something that helps us get through that rail much, much easier. Currently seeing Fricker attempt the zero cycle from on the Argus fight, ends up only hitting one more or leaving one extra puff because of how Argus ended up going. So we had a zero cycle or an empty cycle from Fricker. We're going to see if Lanxion can pull off the zero cycle. Looking pretty good from his end, and there we see a good zero cycle from Lanxion. You might see, if you've watched any other runs, maybe some randomizer, you'll have seen runners switch to the fire rod to get, or a one cycle phase 2, but with AD, we actually want to stay on the hookshot for the next section, so it's actually a waste of time for us to go back and forth between the two different items.
Yeah. I did not see how Lynx did on Swamp. I don't see if he got the zero cycle, but they're real close. So
yeah,
maybe.
Lynx ended up getting the zero cycle.
Yeah.
Fricker had left one puff. And
yeah, Fricker lost that puff. My heart goes out to him. It happens, and it feels bad. But yeah, Fricker is now heading to Ice Palace. We get that nice. We're seeing him go upwards. So what we're going to do, we're not leaving the Dark World for this. We're going to do what's called a mirror wrap. This is the first mirror wrap we've seen in the game so far. But what we're going to do, game hates when you do two things at the same time, so we're going to mirror right on a transition. When we do that, the game puts you in a weird state, messes up your camera, messes up your position, and then you can do a transition, and the game just walks you over in this crazy way. And suddenly you're inside the nice glacial walls of Ice Palace. Fricker did it faster than the time I could explain it. So
yeah. Ooh, Lynx in a very precarious position. He needs to jump over to the side.
Yeah, he tried to just go for it.
Yeah, it was a little too high.
Is he mirroring out and trying to just run away? Oh no, this is bad. He's in the soft
he's got
lock.
to save and quit.
Yeah, Lynx is soft lock. That's rough. But on Fricker's side,
Lynx,
we're seeing another brand new glitch, which actually makes Ice Palace a lot simpler. It's called Icebreaker. But what it is, we're able to just push ourselves through the wall. The door, whenever you go through a door, the door wants to push you through any obstacle in your way. What we do is we extend that door state by using that Samaria block right below us. And then we do a few precise movements to set it up, and then bang, boom, we're just shoved through the wall. So
it makes this Ice Palace I would say easier, because it skips having to do the Ice Palace bomb jump, skips some really annoying rooms like the bombable floor. Well, we still go through bombable floor, but we do it in a much less annoying way. And the conveyor room, all three of those rooms can be
certainly
total annoyances. Doing this icebreaker glitch makes things much, much more simple. Still have to fight Cold Stare, though. 8 shots with our fire rod to break the ice barrier. Then we're going to see a double poke strat from Fricker. 2 poke dashes, followed by a double spin into the corner, is just enough to finish off all of our puffs in a nice, tidy ball. And boss is done in a flash.
Yeah, definitely. So, really, at this point, we only have 3 dungeons left. Is that right? 3 dungeons. So, next we're going back up to Death Mountain. We're going to see our favorite.
Got one little thing to do before we go.
We got one little thing we got to do first, which is grab an ice rod. So yeah, we got to be able to beat Trinex. We need the Ice Rod to be able to do that. So our last piece of fetching, shopping, whatever you want to call it in the game, before we do that. So since Ice Palace is luckily right next to the Ice Rod, we've routed it out to just be able to swim over and grab it from the Ice Rod cave. So yeah, you can see Fricker mirror over. He's doing this swim. This swim is literally impossible. We're going to see how he does. He's doing okay. He's doing okay. Guy's going to explode. He's going to explode. Oh, no. He made it. Oh, it's fine. He did okay.
Speaking of things exploding, Lanx down to a single heart. Going to have to take this pretty safe, but does clean it up. In the meantime, we're seeing Fricker get into that Ice Rod cave with a broken camera glitch where we clip through that slope on that little peninsula at the bottom. That causes our camera to break, and we fall through the top of the screen right next to where the Ice Rod cave is. At that point, we can throw a primed bomb at that spot, even though we can't see it on the camera. The actual geometry of there is all the area surrounding the Ice Rod cave, and we can just walk on in.
Yeah, definitely. So now Fricker's getting ready to do another mirror wrap, the second mirror wrap of the category, to go into Turtle Rock. So there's a lot of different ways we could do Turtle Rock. We could open the front door using Quake. We're not going to do that because getting Quake takes forever. We could clip into the middle of it, but that's slower than doing this. This is we're doing a mirror wrap straight to the back of Turtle Rock, the final entrance right next to the laser bridge. And then basically we get to do Turtle Rock in reverse. And since it wasn't really planned for us to be able to do Turtle Rock in reverse, it's a lot more simple. We can just go grab the big key, come back, use our mirror, come back right here next to Trinex, and just go kill Trinex. Pretty simple, easy peasy.
One thing that Fricker did, and we're probably going to see Lanxion do as well, whenever we head back to Death Mountain, we're right next to the old man, and that old man actually, if we talk to him, he can actually refill our health. But you have to. There's about 3 different text boxes that you have to go through in order to get him to actually refill your health. So our top tier runners, unfortunately,
oh no, can he get out?
Into the side.
He's trapped. He knows the tech. He knows the tech. He's getting the block in the right spot. He's gonna bang it up, and then boom, he gets out.
Okay.
He made it out of the prison. All right. That's a rough thing to happen. And then there's a thing where if you're next to one of those walls that you can bonk to break, if you're right next to it and then you just turn and bonk it, it does not let you break it for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone has a real good explanation. I'm sure somebody does, but as far as I know, there's no good explanation for why that happens. But sometimes you just got to keep retrying. But luckily, Fricker was able to save that crystal roller room a little bit. So not a horrible, massive time loss. Still a time loss, but not as bad as it could have been.
Yeah. But yeah, so now we're just we're backtracking to get the big key. Chest turn from
nice
Fricker.
Chest turn from Fricker.
That's huge. That's
some
huge.
W's.
And we're heading off to kill Trinex. We've got our Ice Rod. We've got our Fire Rod. We need those 2 rods to kill 2 of the 3 heads. The other one we just beat up.
Seeing a very nice 80 peg puzzle room there from Fricker, setting it up so that your Canis Maria block explodes, hits the bottom one, and you sort of follow after the west firing projectile, so that you load in the switch and let it get hit. And Fricker, I wasn't paying enough attention to know if he was going for the poke dash strat or if things just got away from him.
Wait, he just hit that head with the Fire Rod and it did nothing. Oh no, madness is happening. Fricker, no.
He's doing good avoiding damage.
He's juking, but he's using his magic.
Yep. One of the things about this fight is if you run out of magic, before you kill the elemental heads, you basically have to restart the fight. So we're down to, I don't know if
I think he's got one shot. Oh,
well,
no!
That shot went to the side. Unfortunate for Fricker. Once you went out of magic right there, you have to just mirror out and head back to the fight there. Luckily, we do. Whenever you mirror back out, you do have a respawn of
those pots respawn, so he can get that pot right next to the last platform that has a full magic jar in it.
But with that mistake in the Trinex fight, we seeing Lanxion take the lead.
Yeah, Lanxion is ahead now. Let's see if his Trinex fight goes okay. He's Oko here, so if anything touches him, he's done for.
But he avoids the shot very well.
Sometimes you do the spin, and the spin just spins you. So everything on Trinex does 4 hearts of damage. So yeah, he gets it okay. No big deal. Yeah.
I'm gonna push up my nerd glasses. If you run into the shell, it only does 1 heart of damage.
I mean, I'm sure I have luckily not died by doing that before. So. Right. So yeah, still a very close race. They're both in the crystal cutscene, and now we're heading off to Ganon's Tower. So from here, if you remember, like I said, we're not getting Quake. We didn't open up the turtle head, but the game, once you finish the crystal, it spits you out the front door. So we're just going to be shoved right into a turtle head whenever we leave here. We have 2 options that we can do. We could mirror and go back to the light world and then do stuff. Or you can just save and quit. Nice and easy. So we're going to do that from here. Save and quit. Do some more funny, fun, funky camera glitches. Clips. Jumping around. And we're going to go into Ganon's Tower. We could, since we have all 7 crystals, we could just go up there and open the door normally, but that's slow. And this is a glitch category. It's not cool to do it that way. You got to use glitches.
So, it's a glitch category, and it's a speed run. Why would we want to do something slow?
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, you can see Lanx. He's doing clips through walls. He's breaking his camera, wrapping his coordinates around back up to the top of the screen, going into the dark world, and jumping down. We're gonna see him do a little bit of a clip here, and now he's in GT. Easy peasy.
Yeah,
Fricker's doing the exact same thing right behind him. So.
Yeah, the door to Ganon's Tower is actually always open. It's just that there's a little bit of wall before Ganon's Tower that sort of spreads apart, and the stairs that lead to that door, at least the top half of it, is always visible. So when we do that little clip there, we just land in those stairs and we just walk on in.
Yeah. So GT, the big thing about GT here is neither of them actually talked to the old man and got a health refill. So we're doing GT without the health refill that we would have conveniently had from beating a dungeon right before.
Yeah. Once again, whenever you save and quit, you don't actually have all your health back. So both of our runners skipping, wasting time getting the extra health. Nice chest turn again from Lanxion. Also saw a very nice spike skip from Lanxion. I didn't see if Fricker also got the spike skip. But for the most part, outside of that little diminished health, we're going to be doing Ganon's Tower in a pretty similar way. Only real difference is the one additional optional key that you get in this tower. Normally it's either the torch, the helmet key, or the pre-Moldorm 2 chest. Usually you're not going to see any of our runners do the pre-Moldorm 2 chest. It looks like Fricker ended up bonking and getting the key, and we're probably going to see Lanxion pick up the helmet key.
Yeah, so the key options with the Moldorm 2 key, you can see Lanxion tried to do a chest turn there. He didn't actually get extra arrows. He's flush on arrows.
Yep, 12 arrows should be enough.
Yeah. Now he's going upstairs. We're going to see what strat he does. There's different strats you can do depending on how many hearts you want to gain or lose here. You can either gain 1 lose 1 or lose 3.
Well, no, it's gain 1,
even,
go even, or lose 3. Lose 3 is the fastest. It's basically doing like you would in MG, but a lot of our runners aren't going to do it because we're already at a lower health total. And Fricker having a little bit of trouble hitting that switch, but he's also doing...
Oh no, he's getting beat up by the Mimic.
Yeah. Luckily, the green Mimics, you can just slash them instead of having to use the arrows like we're seeing with these red Mimics.
Yeah, but I mean, Fricker right now is only 2 rooms behind Lynx.
Still a very, very tight race, even with that mistake on the Trinex fight.
Yeah. So Lynx is heading into the gauntlet. The fun thing about the gauntlet is the enemies move randomly, and there's a bunch of conveyor belts to ruin your life, and also BMOSes to shoot you in the face while your life is...
I'm going to have to talk with Lanxion about his beloved slash strat compared to the pot strat in G2.
No.
A little unfortunate.
No. Yeah, Lynx he's off the magic too. Like, off on his magic. We ration on our magic here very specifically to be able to beat Lamolas 2. And Lynx has used an extra shot, so
he's got that magic up there, decides to divert. Very nice.
Yeah, he grabbed that
situational awareness.
Yeah. So we're on to Lambo 2. Lambo 2 is basically an amped up fight of Lambo 1. Now you're getting shot at while you're doing Lambo.
You might think that's unfortunate 3 cycle here from
Lynx, and now they're in the same room at the same time,
allowing Fricker to catch up even more.
This is going to be who gets blue balled the worst from AGA 1 here.
Fricker looked like he had a 2 cycle, but a very early 2 cycle.
Yeah, certainly. And yeah, we're heading up through Ganon's Tower. We're doing Wizard Robes 1 and 2. Again, like part of our reasoning in our magic rationing here is we need a certain amount of magic to be able to kill the Wizard Robes in this way, which is the fastest way. We need magic to be able to light these torches using the lamp and then going on down using the fire rod. And then there's another set of torches, so we're going to get a refill. This is going to be our last refill in the dungeon. And we see them. They're going to use 4 shots. That basically uses half their magic. And from here, they're going to do 1 more dungeon. There's still a dungeon left, in case you haven't been noticing. There's Aga's Tower, and we're going to use the fire rod a lot in there, but since we have half magic, we basically ration it out from there too. So
Lank's making me a liar and going for the often not used Mortorm.
Lynx is using a known incredibly slower strategy for the chess key there.
Well, more puzzling, Fricker went for that same room, even though he already had an extra key, so he's going to be leaving Ganon's Tower with an extra key.
The Fricker's grabbing a bonus key? All right, so we're going to take 2 seconds off his time for that, right? Every extra key, 2 seconds, right? Yeah, so... We're heading up. We're heading up to the first jerk Aga, Aga 2. Aga, in general, takes 6 hits from his own balls, and you got to basically what? Huh? Yeah. So he shoots energy balls at you, and you got to reflect them back at him. You got to hit him 6 times, but whether the actual real Aga shoots an energy ball or a blue ball at you is random. So.
Yeah, the second and third in Aga 2, it goes first shot is always an energy ball. The second and third shot are 50-50s. And then it sort of goes back and forth between 2 50-50 shots, 2 real shots, 2 50-50 shots, 2 real shots. I believe that's correct.
It looks like they're about 4 seconds apart right now. So
we'll be able to see based off this. Bat crash here. We got a 107.49 and then a 107.43. So yeah, 4 seconds apart from both of our runners, both going for a safer version of the Mirror 2 Aga Tower. You might have thought we were just about done, but nope, we've got one more little section to do. The Aga Tower fight. Unfortunate from Lanxion, and that
puts Fricker ahead.
Yeah, basically screen for screen.
Even. Yeah, they're framed. They're like maybe a second apart right now. This is craziness.
Position for position.
Yeah, this is nuts.
As far as Aga Tower goes itself, we are significantly ahead of what we would be in the regular game.
And Fricker does... Okay, they both chest turn. That's important. But Fricker is doing the old strat for the maze where you dash through and get lag, and that basically lost him time to even it up again. They're like frame for frame.
Lanx also went for a chest turn and failed it, and then had to go back. Goodness.
Well, I mean, it's important.
I'm gonna have to ask if either of our runners had the other runner on stream. But yeah, we are literally position for position going through these rooms.
Yeah. Right? Oh, Fricker having a little trouble with the fire rods. Link's not having that trouble and pulls ahead a little
Slight
bit.
lead.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're going to have to deal with in this particular category is we're going to have to deal with the RNG nonsense that is Aga 1, and it's likely going to be the decider of the race. Because we have to do this Aga Tower segment, we do have to do this Aga 1 fight. Aga 1, and the way it works, you've got 4 shots per lightning cycle. The first shot is always reflectable. The second, third, and fourth shot are 50-50s between energy balls and blue balls. After that, we get a lightning phase. Every time we get a blue ball, it's just 6 seconds of time lost that you can do nothing about. And after the third, 7th, 11th, and 15th blue ball, we get an additional lightning phase. So lots of things that we're going to have to deal with. Lots of RNG we're going to have to deal with. And might be the decider of the race.
Yeah.
Lanx ahead as Duck pointing out, Lanx ahead by about 1 second in the non-RNG portion. So let's see on our runners. Energy ball. Blue ball from Fricker.
Blue ball for Fricker. That's rough. That's one for Fricker. None for
Energy
Lanx.
ball. Another blue ball for Fricker.
Oh, man.
One blue ball from Lanx, so we're at 2 and 1.
2-1
right now.
Big score, keeping it up. Each blue ball is about 1 second unless you get 3, and then it's an extra, each blue ball is about 6 seconds unless you get 3, and then it's 6 extra seconds on top of that.
Oh, Lanx got a second, so we're tied up on blue balls.
Yeah, we're tied up 2-2. Oh, they both get 1, 3, 3.
Third. Tied up on blue balls still.
This is huge.
Oh, Lanx gets a 4th.
Oh, no.
So this is guaranteed that Fricker is going to get 3. Lanx has to sweat.
3. Lanx has to grab an extra energy ball. But there is still one last source of RNG in the game.
Ooh, Lanx with another.
Oh, man, Lanx got 5.
Blue ball.
That's rough.
All okay, so stuck at 5.
3 versus 5. 12 seconds.
About 12 seconds difference between the two runners. But yeah, you were just about to mention another source of RNG.
Yeah. So now we have finally finished every dungeon in the game. We're right next to the hole. Saha is talking to us about things we already know about, I guess. It's still in Japanese, and I can't read Japanese. But we get to go fight the blue pig. Big time. Beat the final boss in the game. The blue pig has 4 phases to him. With our tempered sword, phase 1 and 2 will each take 12 slashes each, or spins do twice that damage. Third phase, that's where our big RNG comes in. It takes 4 slashes, but he has a 50-50 chance of warping every time he lands. And then the 4th phase, we're using a glitch called Silverless to be able to beat him using tempered sword spins, and it takes 12 spins of that to be able to beat him.
Mm-hmm.
So
looking like a good 1-1 from Fricker. Lanx also setting up for a good 1-1.
Yeah, one big thing we didn't talk about, Fricker is already on the fire rod. He doesn't have to menu in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
Lanx is on the hook shot, which is good for iframes to be able to do the Ganon fight, but you have to minion to the fire rod to be able to light the torch. And the way we're going to light the torch, we're going to do another glitch, the final glitch of the game, called the torch glitch. Oh, well, Fricker decides to take the menu. Fricker takes a menu anyway, and yeah. All right, so we can see Fricker is doing those spins, and Ganon's vulnerable for 1 frame while he's teleporting away. I guess it's 1 frame. It might be 1 or 2, but it's a very short window. And you basically spin to be able to overlap that time period, and then doing the 12 spins. Lynx is also in the fourth phase, but still a little bit behind.
Yeah, I think it's more than that, but it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, we are seeing Fricker line up, already got his 12 hits. So with that,
we
see
finishes
official...
up. You see,
Go ahead.
Oh, Lynx is in the fanfare while Fricker is finishing up. So,
official SRL time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 8 seconds, and we already have Fricker in the chat with us. Congratulations on your win, Fricker.
Yo, thank you. That Trinex was fantastical.
Things got interesting right around that Trinex. We see Lanxion coming in with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 25 seconds. Were you watching the restream, or happen to have Lanxion's stream while you were running?
I was watching from the start, and once I had to mirror at Trinex, I saw that Lanx had the lead by, I don't know, 15 seconds or right around that area. Oh boy. Me doing the dumb meme strats is costing me.
I was paying attention to too many things, so I didn't notice. But I guess you're saying you went for the poke dash, probably to please one of our admins, Apathy Duck, and came back to bite you.
Yeah, I mean, it was my fault. Basically, I just wanted to have fun, so I did the optimal Armos. Messed it up and did a lot of optimal stuff that I messed up, but I had fun. And the race between Lanx and I have been ongoing since the NMG a couple years ago in the fall. So it was, I don't know, it was a race, a bro between bro race. So it was a good
Speaking of Lanxion, we've got him joining us in the chat. Congratulations on your race.
Thanks, man. Thank you. All I know is that Fricker will never beat me in the chest turn race, so it doesn't matter what you guys.
y'all were doing a lot of chest turns. So
there was a lot of chest turning happening, but you're both disqualified because
neither of you got the hookshot chest turn. So sorry, but
yikes! All right, I guess we'll just call it.
Quick funny thing. So of course I had the stream up and I was looking at chat, and I think I was in Mire. And I saw somebody say, "Oh no, run's over," and I'm like, "Oh, did I forget a key? Did I forget the cane?" So I went to my pause menu to make sure I had the red cane, and I was like freaking out.
What did happen? Because I saw it, I was like, "What did I do? What did I screw up?" Because
what happened to me.
We were just memeing on.
Neither of you got the
failed
chest turn. You never really got the swamp chest turns.
See, you know why I hate you guys? I'm just letting you know. Like you guys were memeing over that, and I got the 6 swag fire rod.
Hey! Don't hate me. I pointed that out. Don't give me lip. I totally got that part.
That's all I really needed. That's it. Outside of this run, and I think Fricker will agree, was a dumpster fire. For both of us.
Did you see my Trinex, dude?
I didn't. I looked over. I was about to go type something in. I was gonna say, "Hey, can I just do a fight that doesn't have me having beeping hearts?" And then you were behind me. I was like, "What happened?"
So, I tried to do double poke, like a big dumb head that I am, and I messed it up. And I got left with the ice head, ice on the floor. I could not hit the ice head, and I ran out of magic. Had to mirror.
One shot of yours, it hit the head, but it didn't count. Yeah, it was wild.
But I wasted a good 30 seconds just sitting there waiting for the right time to shoot that rod shot, and
because you only had 2 shots left, and so I was like, I got to make these count.
That's horrific. That's awful. But that was fun. It came down to roughly blue balls. I think that even if we had even blue balls, you might have edged me out anyways.
You were
3.
about 1 second ahead, Lynx, heading into the Aga fight. Oh yeah, Aga 1 fight. It ended up you had a couple extra warps on Ganon, and
okay. Well, he also
and the phase 4 was a little sloppier compared to Fricker's.
Yeah. The second didn't matter because he was a menu ahead of me.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
because you were on shot and he was on fire rod.
Yeah. So I mean, so it was pretty close. I mean, either way, I think that they would have been like insanely close. This is insane. I put 3 114s on the board, so I'm like, I think this is my worst one. So it's like, it is what it is. Like,
yeah,
my average time is
consistency at least. I got like a 117 something. So yeah, I feel you.
It'll be consistent when I get paired up against like Doom Tap and he dumpsters me.
I'm just waiting to lose too, so I'm right there with you, bro.
Fair enough, man. That was awesome. I love having a nice little. I'm got 2-0'd by Fricker, which is frankly embarrassing, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself, but we'll see. That was a good
day will come where Lanxion just wrecks me at something.
One day it'll be, I don't know, geocaching or something.
So I've kind of hogged the mic here. Yoho, did you have any questions for either of our runners?
Oh no, I just want to thank you guys. That was a great race to watch. It was it was fun for sure.
I'm
absolutely.
I realized 120 people rolled out for this. Heck yeah! I'm glad people.
Exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you guys for commentating. That was a lot of fun. I can't wait to like listen to it back. I wasn't listening to it, just kind of watching on silent because I would have been an idiot. So thank you so much, guys.
Get ready for some hype.
Oh boy, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Fricker. Fricker, as always, a fantastic time. You're my boy. Thank you for the run, man.
Thank you for the run, sir. Appreciate you guys commentating as well. Thank you a lot, and thank you to everybody out there watching. Love you all.
Thank you. Lots of love. Catch you guys later.
Yeah, and with that, we can go ahead and hand it to Nori to close us out.
Thanks everyone for joining us. GG's to both Lanxion and Fricker. It was a great race tonight. Very close. I love how it like changes hands.
Yeah, it was a very close race.
And the other thing is we have another match coming up tonight in just a little over an hour and a half. Kyong versus Chex Human should be very hype. And also tomorrow we have another match as well, Apathy Duck versus Clan, and that's pretty much going to be closing out, I guess, all the restreams that we'll be doing for the groups. So to be determined for when the brackets matches will be starting. And also, thanks M. I think I'm hoping to pronounce it. Is it M. Kozler or is it M. Kozler?
You had to write the first
time. M. Kozler. And this is also thank you. This is not Yoho for doing commentary as well. Very much appreciated, gentlemen. And thanks everyone for joining us, and we hope to see you for the next race. So thanks, and take care.